So this video would be a combination of month 6 and most of month 7 of our level 1 Rushed Base fixed update, basically where we kind of tell you what we upgraded throughout the month. And to be honest with you, January was a little disappointing. To be honest with you, I was working on storages, you know, the gold storage, elixir storage, dark elixir storage, and I was trying to get those to level 18 and realized that they were 12-day, 12-hour upgrades. You know, that's like almost 2 weeks worth of upgrade time on those things. And it was just not really a strong video. I was just like, wow, good job. You upgraded, you upgraded some storages, you know, and some hero levels. But the month of January was interesting because we did have a couple of events. We had that streak event, which is, you know, they're always so buggy. There's always a bunch of issues with it. And then they also did the magic snack event. Like, I like magic snacks, but we don't get them very often. And it's kind of like cool because once you get one, you have to use it immediately. I wish they would get rid of the 24-hour timer on them because maybe I don't want to use that snack in that very moment. Maybe I want to save it for a week from now. Like, I get it that, you know, the developer's trying to like, you know, keep us from exploiting these things, but at the same time, you can't sell it. So what is it hurting if I save it for next week? I don't know. You know what I mean? It is what it is, I guess. So yeah, this was the base back on day 1 when we first started working on this level 1 rushed account, and this is what the base looks like today. And I find it very interesting to see 7 months worth of progress on upgrades and grinding a Clash of Clans account. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, you know? Like, the attacks are always so interesting to watch and how technical everybody gets with their attacks, but the hardest part for everyone in this game that doesn't spend a ton of money on it is working on upgrading these things so that way you can advance through the game and try to play like those guys up there, which I don't really do because I'll never get there, right? It's just, yes. So let's go ahead and get into our progress base, and we're going to go over those fixes and repairs that we did throughout the month of January and most of February. Speaking of which, last month was actually really interesting because we got snow here where I live, and we never get snow. That was like super weird. And then also my girl got like on this new venture with this wood engraver. She got one of those CO2 lasers or whatever. I think that's what it was. And she wanted a workstation table for it, so, you know, baby gets what baby wants, right? So I had to learn like carpentry and try to build that table. It's still holding up. I'm not gonna say it was like perfect or anything because, yeah, I'm a gamer, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. So let's get into our progress base, and we did the maxing of gold storage, elixir storage, and dark elixir storage. Now, I did break down at one point last month and spent a bunch of league medals to purchase builder potions to speed up those upgrades. Yeah, I couldn't do it anymore. It was driving me mad. And I also spent a hammer on upgrading the dark elixir storage. Forgive me, it was like a 12-day upgrade. I was like this, or it might have been 10-day upgrade. It was a long upgrade. It needed to be done. I was tired of upgrading those things because I wanted to move on to heroes and such. So we moved on after that into upgrading all 4 of the army camps to their final level, to level 12. And then we also had upgrades going on heroes, which we'll get into here in a moment. That was also about the time that Clan War Leagues was starting, and I went ahead and used a book of building to upgrade the barracks to level 17 to unlock the Root Rider. Still haven't used the Root Rider, but it's definitely a strong troop in the game for a lot of players, and I wanted to have that and start upgrading it. And during Clan War Leagues, I had a bunch of builders available, so I went ahead and shifted into defenses for a moment. We upgraded the Expos to level 2, which is nothing compared to what they are now. I think there's like 10 or 11 or even 12 levels of those things or something. And then we also upgraded Inferno Towers. 2 of them are level 4. 1 is currently going to level 5. And I'm just gonna leave this builder right here throughout the process because I don't need it in the hero hall. I mean, it could be upgraded in the minion prints, but yeah, we'll talk about that here in a moment. All right, so there was also one more builder that is currently focused on upgrading the Dark Barracks. We've taken this thing from level 1 to level 7. It's currently under upgrade to level 8, and yeah, I think that was it. Oh, no, there was one more problem that happened the other day and I kind of forgot to mention it. So I was upgrading the Grand Warden, right? My main focus is when it comes to the elixir is upgrade that Grand Warden nonstop unless I'm in Clan War Leagues. And it's been working out really nicely. So I think it was month 5. We upgraded the hero hall to level 8 and it took like a week to upgrade, and I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous, you know, like waiting on this building to upgrade. I'm gonna wait on upgrading it until I absolutely need to do so. And the other day I had to do so because I logged in, went to upgrade the Grand Warden, and the upgrade was locked. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, are you serious? So I went ahead and used a hammer. Probably not the best choice, but I was so irritated that I said, you know what, swing a hammer, upgrade that building to level 9 to start that Warden upgrade again. And then I said, you know what, we got the books to do it because of Season Pass and the clan games giving out a book of building. So I went ahead and upgraded the hero hall to level 10 and then to level 11. So that way I never have to worry about doing that again when it comes to my hero upgrades. Like I could just keep upgrading nonstop and be done with it, because yeah, it's just the obstacles. The game continues to add obstacles to slow down rushing or whatever their decision to do so. The fact of the matter is it takes like 4 years to max out an account if you're playing for free anyway. So like, why? Why do we keep adding these things to slow players down when we should be encouraging them to play more often and try to be like the pros, I guess. I digress. So inside of the hero hall, we actually upgraded the Barbarian King 11 levels to level 51. He's currently under upgrade to level 52 right now. The Archer Queen increased 12 levels to level 49, currently under upgrade to level 50. Didn't touch the Minion Prince because, yeah, I know it's a cool hero and I'm sure there's a lot of great uses for it, but I just feel like we could still 3-star with the original 4 heroes, you know, like why not just stick to what I know? I don't know, that's just my mindset on it. I know that everybody's like, you know, they jump on the latest and greatest cool new thing and they forget about the old stuff, but the old stuff still works, you know, like why would I not just focus on what I know and upgrade it and get it over with, right? Grand Warden has gone up 10 levels to level 55, and the Royal Champion has gone up 7 levels to level 29, currently going to level 30, and she just takes longer to upgrade, costs a lot more than both the King and the Queen right this second, so it's just kind of hard to grind the resources for the Royal Champion, but we're doing it. We're gonna get her there eventually. So looking at these numbers, I think we're almost halfway on most of these hero levels to max. Now jumping into the pet house, we have finished out the Spirit Fox. I think the end of December, we were at level 5 with the Spirit Fox, finish out the final 5 levels, and we're currently working on upgrading Frosty, which is going to level 6, 11 hours left on that one, and I'll be able to put it back down for level 7 in, you know, later today. And I think after that I'll either shift back into the Mighty Yak or finish out Lassie or the Electro Owl, and then I think after that we'll have Poison Lizard. I gotta unlock the Angry Jelly with the level 10 pet house, and then we're almost done with pets. I mean, well, not almost. We still got a ways to go there, but we're looking really solid in the pet house. Jumping into the blacksmith. All right, so blacksmith has been it's been a bumpy ride when it comes to the blacksmith. And I'm going to say from the start that hero equipment is a really cool feature. Don't get me wrong. I like the different options for the different abilities, but at the same time, I don't have all of them maxed out. You know what I mean? And there's not a potion available to where we can just click a potion for 1 hour and have maxed out abilities. So am I experimenting with different options for when it comes to hero equipment? Absolutely not, because we already know that a level 1 piece of equipment can only do but so much and can rarely replicate the attack strategies that we might watch on YouTube. So I just kind of focus in on certain ones that I'm actually using, or I'm just abandoning epic pieces of equipment in general right now because we just got struck with another wave of nerfs on abilities that were really solid or slightly overpowered, and we were all liking them, and then they just said, you know what, we don't like it, so we're going to change the stats on them, and that's, you know, sorry for your resources, you know, no compensation there. So yeah, we upgraded the Electro Boots when it was released to level 11. Then the nerf came out and I was like, are you freaking kidding me right now? So then I went back to the Hog Rider puppet. I also added some levels to the Frozen Arrow, and you know what, I was just like, not everybody out there saying that the Frozen Arrow is worth anything. They're either saying use the Giant Arrow or the Magic Mirror, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna stick with the Giant Arrow. Maybe they might buff it again because the commons keep getting buffs anyways. So I upgraded it to level 10. So right now we got a level 13 Spiky Ball and a level 18 Earthquake Boots. That's been like that for a couple months now. We got a level 18 Healer Puppet, which I think I did back in December, and then we haven't touched the minion prints at all. The Grand Warden has a level 18 Eternal Tome and Rage Gem. That's been like that since December, and we probably should upgrade the Healing Tome next, but it's just one step at a time. And right now I'm currently working on the Royal Champion. We maxed out the Haste Vial, and we need to add the additional 8 levels on the Hog Rider puppet. Since we're on the topic of hero abilities, we currently have this one event going on right now, which is the Snake Festival to celebrate the Lunar New Year. And I did some grinding the other day and claimed all 3,750 of my snake medals. Now, I have not spent them yet because I was kind of debating with myself, giving it a few days to kind of do some research and see if the snake bracelet was really worth it. I mean, I could have done some testing in the developer build, but I like to see the opinions of the pros and kind of see what they're using because, you know, they're like super invested in the game. And I haven't seen anybody say that the snake bracelet is really worth purchasing in the first place. And we have to think about this. They keep doing this every other month now. It's kind of been a little bit of a pattern by the developer where they're releasing these pieces of equipment very often when you think about it. And you only get so many of the medals anyways to spend. So you spend a bulk of your medals on unlocking these abilities just to find out that they might not even be worth being upgraded. So you buy it, it sits there at a level 1 and does nothing when you're ultimately missing out on a lot of these different options. Now, I've had a couple of messages on Instagram and stuff from players asking about books. I think that the books are a little too overpriced in my opinion when you can buy a book of heroes from the trader with 500 gems opposed to 1,030 of the medals, and I feel like you get more value by buying the ore instead. So that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to buy all of the glowy ore and the shiny ore, do a couple of upgrades to some equipment, maybe like 1 or 2 levels there or whatever, but it just seems like glowy ore is always a shortage for me, so I'm just going to invest first and then get the rest of spend the rest of it on the shiny ore instead. So yeah, I don't know, like it's just the way I feel about the events right now. Like I love all these new events, but then there's like, in the back of my mind, I have to think about what is more beneficial for my accounts. And sure, I can give you all the advice on what I would do, but it really ultimately depends on what you're working on your accounts and whether it's actually worth it. Like if you're claiming all of the equipment just to have them, I totally get it, do your thing. But in this case, I just feel like it's really not worth it, and I am going to spend my resources in a more efficient manner for my account. And then we had the laboratory. So let's jump into the laboratory. This is the last set of things that we worked on last month. If I can find my laboratory. There it is. All right, here we go. All right, so I did add 2 levels to the giant. I don't remember why I did that. I must have had like a shortage of elixir and I was tired of looking at an idle laboratory, so I went ahead and upgraded it. I also upgraded my Yeti from level 1 to level 6 because there's a couple of my clanmates that continue to request Yetis and I wanted to donate to them. I haven't used it very often, but I'm sure there might be a case that I will. Once I unlocked the Root Rider, I did upgrade it to level 2, but right now it requires 14 million elixir, and it's also a 10-day upgrade. So I think it might be better to use a Book of Fighting instead there. That way I'm not waiting 10 days on an upgrade. And then right before Clan War League started the other day, or about a week or so ago, one of the spells that I use in my dragon army is the clone spell, and and I decided that I needed to go ahead and upgrade the clone spell. So I upgraded it from level 1 to level 8, and then I moved into the final level of the jump spell. So I think after that is finished upgrading, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the haste spell, because that just got a new level as well in the last update. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. We still got a lot of things to unlock as well as upgrade, like the siege machines, the dark troops, and a bunch of the elixir based troops as well. So it doesn't seem like we made a lot of progress in the laboratory, but it's just one of those things. The laboratory always takes a really long time unless you're spending all of your league medals on, you know, the hammers and all of your books and stuff. It's a grind no matter how you go about it. So let's go ahead and jump into the Clash Ninja website. And this website is linked down in the description below if you would like to track your progress on your villages, because it tends to help a little bit when it comes to, you know, staying focused on upgrading the buildings that matter and not just jumping around randomly on your bases. We're at 26% on our structures, 3% on supercharges, which I just cannot stand the supercharge feature. I don't want to talk about that right now. 29% on laboratory, 21% on heroes, 19% on hero equipment, 57% on pets. Like I said, we're doing good on pets, and 50.2% on our walls. So according to this data, without the use of magic items, it looks like we still have, oh my goodness, with 6 builders, 25 months. So we still got like 2 years worth of upgrading to do on buildings. That's not including supercharges, and 44 months, 14 days, and 8 hours on the laboratory. And that's just simply because I don't have the gold pass activated on the Clash Ninja website to reflect those numbers. That's if we were doing this free to play, which we are currently not. So what do you guys think about the last update in Clash of Clans? Your feelings on hero equipment and the medal events? Let me know, because I want to hear what you really think. We'll see you in the next one, guys.